Hello. Okay, this is the folder. If you click on it, you can then download it if you want to. If you are just looking at it online, don't worry, you can just use that. So look for the picture, and if you click on the picture as it is, you can see you get a nice large picture. So you want to kind of have a quick look at which one best suits. This one is slightly out of focus, so that one's not the best one. That one looks okay. That one is good. Okay, so you can either hit download, and then that would then download it, or you can write the number down, the number of the picture. When you click it, it tells you there. So you can copy it and put it into Notepad and say that's one of the good ones to use. Then, if we go back, we can go through to the next one. So that one's out of focus, that one's out of focus as well. It's zoomed in. The algae is sharp, so that's not a great picture, so we won't use that. We now look at this. The main elements, there's a rule of thirds, is you put an invisible line in the middle there and on the thirds, and it shows you that this picture is actually not bad. So we are now looking for expressions. That one's cut off. So the previous one wasn't too bad. Obviously this is a thing, but that is actually quite good. So if you click on it, you should then be able to download it, or you can view the original and then find the number again. So save the number back into the notepad, and you can see that this is a different number. Okay, right, now go back and you keep going through and see if there is any other pictures. If you are doing it the first time, it's worth just scanning through and just look at what is going on. If you can look at the thumbnail as well, if you get an idea, there's the number of pictures, the total. Obviously there is a lot of pictures, but one picture of the cloud would actually be quite nice. We don't need to get all of them. That one has got no trees in it, so that one would be a good one. And you can view the original and find out which one it is. And you can just go through and copy and paste the links. Right, if I just go back to the thumbnails, you can also do it this way. So get out of these 5 series of shots, maybe one which doesn't have as much of the ground would be fine, or get one with the ground and with the clouds. So one of that, there you go, and you can put the tick on it to say that you are interested in it, and then you can download it. One of these, you can then look at the bigger picture, see if it is worth it. It's got some nice patterns on the floor, but you're trying to tell a story about Scotland. So, the patterns, the detail, things like that is what you want to see and show. And you can show the wide shot of the swimmers, and then you got a close-up as I zoom in. and show the detail, and then somebody falls off, maybe take one picture because that's quite an interesting thing, and then you got somebody who is rowing, and then you got another wide shot. So followed by the chains, that is one of these chains would be good, and then you got another person, and then zoomed in, and then you got a little bit of detail of somebody who's taking the rust off the paint, and you can see the sparks flying. So let's have one of those. If you are able to check it if it's nice and sharp and you can see the detail, then that's the best way. That shows the detail of the metal grinding. Let us see if we can get a little bit of the sparks flying, and that might be on there. That shows the sparks flying and his hand, so that would be a nice one with the detail. And if I hit save the picture, we've got the number now. I put it into Notepad, you can put it into Excel, either way it doesn't matter. And then we're just going to go back and you can view the original, or you can go back to closing this and you come back to the thumbnail. So I think the idea is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You get a variety of shots, but 1 out of the 5 is enough. 1 out of this would be enough. 1, the best one in terms of composition of those 5 would be enough. 1 out of that is enough. Okay, so you want to have a variety of detail and a variety of people shots and the cloud shot. And obviously there's a nice mixture of pictures. There is a lot in there, but a close-up of this boat is good for a postcard. A different angle of this boat is nice for a website. So the wide shot is good for a promotional flyer or something, so that's useful. Close-up of this cloud, if it's got something that looks like a face or a pattern which looks interesting, then that's worth capturing. And you can see there, as I scroll through, you got a lot more pictures. Okay, and it goes on. Then you come into the next scene, which is actually the next day, and you can see this green flower plant area, and you can download that if you need to. And you can see the detail there. If you've got Picasa, let me just open up Picasa, all apps. I've got Photoshop and Lightroom. Lightroom I think is a lot better, but let's show you Picasa, because Picasa is a free tool. It's by Google, and it's actually pretty good. So Google's Picasa is, it's not on here. Okay, I have uninstalled Picasa for some reason, but it's the same sort of process. Let me just see if it is, oh, there it is. So let us see if we can find the Scotland pictures. So with Picasa you go into here, and then you would select the folder. of where the pictures are located, and then you would import it. So on this one it is primarily on the D drive. It's called Scotland. There we are, and quick edit, and then right. I'm just gonna bring a few of them in, just to kind of show you. And again, once this is imported, I have sent you the low quality file sizes, and you can see the numbers are there. And if I say import selected, and let me just you can see the pictures. You can sit here and choose the best one. Once you find it, go through using the shortcuts, and I've got a variety of shots, and I put the logo on this one. But you want to, once you've got all the best ones that you like selected, one out of, see, that one's out of focus, that one's okay, that one's in focus, that's in focus, that one is useless, and then there's another one. So there in Picasa you've got an option which says folder. Oh, you come back to the library, you click on one of the stars, and then you say edit, select starred. You see that? If you say select all, it selects all of them. If I say select starred, that's the point of going through and starring them, which is your best choices. If I double click here, you can see the best choices there. And if I say select starred, you'll see that it selects it with a white and blue box. And then once I've got the best one selected, I can just say export, and then that would then export it to a folder at a certain size, and there you go. You'll see that you got all of the ones I've exported and selected. Obviously on this one I have put in watermarks. On the ones I've sent you I haven't. Okay, so that's how you bring it into Picasa. Let's just close down Picasa and answer any other questions. You can then, if I bring it into Photoshop as one example, this, if you send me batches of 2 of that, then it makes it easier. I'm just going to open up one of the pictures to show you ones that I've got a list of the so-called best ones. Right, under Scotland, and right, so okay. In Photoshop, once I come in, I will send you some of these actions. So an action is here, and you can see I've got lots of different templates. So when I click standard black and white, notice what happens. This is what the power of an action is. You press play, and you see it turns it automatically to black and white, and it looks pretty damn good. and let's have bold black and white, and you can see that the picture is a little bit brighter. So if I just hit revert, which means go back to the previous setting, I've got lots and lots of different actions, and I just have to kind of click on an effect. So that one says golden. You can see what this one does. And you see it's doing a series of different edits on the picture without me having to know anything, and then it's creating all these different layers of pre-done work by actions, and then you can replicate different types of effects. Okay, I hope that was more useful for you. The rejects, you can put it into a different folder, but I'm only interested in the best and the okay or great ones. I'm not interested in the bad ones, because I can't put that in the book. Okay, I hope you understand this. If in the worst case you export a list or a folder, you can just say file export or copy them back into the other folder. And let me just show you how to copy it back. And right, when I close it, at the top of it, I've actually done a little bit of work where I've gone through and found out that some of the postcodes of these different pictures, and that's why I put them there. You don't need to worry about it. It might be useful for you to know that they are in different postcodes. So the first place I done was the marina where the ships are. Then I went to Edinburgh where the cathedral is. Then I went to the visitor centre where there's a picnic area and the highland. And then I went to Treasures of the Earth, which is where the fluorescent minerals are, and all of them are all in that one folder. You just need to put them into that folder if you can. So let me just show you that again. Okay. Now, once we've downloaded it, we should check it to find out whether it's the good ones or the best ones. And I can see that is asking me to log in now. Okay, so that is all of the Photoshop stuff. Let me just revert this. Revert means go back. So that's what you see. And then these ones, if you export it, you can save them as a JPEG. My idea is to go through those PDFs and replicate my pictures in similar sort of layout so that it looks good, with some of them black and white and so forth. Okay, hopefully this makes a bit more sense, so you can put stuff into the great photos and the okay and good photos here, and the edited ones from Photoshop, once they've done, would go into here, and that is shared for you. Okay, and let me just cut out. And I'm going to stop the video there so that you can